cold front moving in overnight, like a 17 to 20 degree drop. We wake up, it's going to be like 44 on the South Shore. 40 Friday morning, 41 Saturday morning, 43 Sunday, 45 Monday, 39 Tuesday, 43 Wednesday, 46 next Thursday, 43 next Friday. I'm not kidding you. A wintry mix. Winter is here. For the end of 2023 and into 2024, 50s, the high the next week to 10 days in the 50s. We won't see 60 degrees for the next like week and a half. Joe, you're making me very nervous. What's going on over there? You doing off-track betting in the Himalayas? Joe has a bet down. He thinks those cricket players of India aren't worth a damn when they're taking on Afghanistan. So we'll see what goes on. Pakistan. Joe, he's like, Pakistan, dude. Afghanistan. What are you, stupid? Sorry that I don't know your cricket. Wow, Joe, ease up. I don't know what 40 ruples is. Joe, good luck to you. 40 rupee. Great. All right. Joe's on a whole other cash system. The gambler. By the way, I'm getting paid a few $1,000s a month. And I want to tell you, even though I don't gamble, you should gamble. FrankMcGill.com has all the picks for you. FrankMcGill.com. Put $100 down and you're going to win $10,000 tonight. It's a 5-star lock. It's FrankMcGill.com. All the picks you need. Frank has it all under control. His 5-star lock. I really recommend gambling. I'm pushing gambling. Gambling. I love all these. There are on-air personalities, I guess, Joe, that will just take any dollar. Hey, I don't know about you, but I've never been or eaten at this place, but you need to go to Charlie's House of Poop. You know, it's just like, you don't gamble and you're pushing gambling. I just don't get that whole phenomenon, but you know, money talks and you know what walks, all that kind of good stuff. I had a chance for gambling money. I figured a couple of things, Joe. One, it's going to be a lot out the gate, and then it's going to level off, and then I'm going to be stuck touting some lame touting a tout for years, and I don't gamble. I don't care if you do. Frank's Gin. I don't drink gin, but you should try Frank's Gin. You know, I mean, I don't drink gin. Be hard to push gin. Anyway, or should I say anywho, just to really wreck the whole party. Hey, it is 61 degrees, and yeah, it's going to be like 40s for the next week and a half, waking up every morning, and 50s as the high, like we live in Oklahoma City. I mean, what happened every like 3 days? It's back up to 70 in New Orleans. I said anywho, so I'm going to say by golly. We're using all of those today. Boy, a lot to talk about. 2023 about to be in the books, fading out. 2024, here we come. You think about last year in New Orleans and major things like finally breaking ground on the River District. The Charity Hospital, the big framework outside, they're doing a lot of work on that old Charity Hospital. Six Flags site, you know, maybe. We'll see. Clearview Mall kind of turning into a live, work, play type of thing. I got to hand it to the folks at Clearview Mall. That mall just like Lakeside right down the street. Clearview was always viable. I remember when Macy's bought Dillard's or whatever. You had a Dillard at Lakeside. You had a Dillard's at Clearview. You knew the Dillard was going to go at Clearview. You're like, what's going to happen to Clearview? All of a sudden, they put a 2-story Target in there that's like number one in the chain in the region. And that Bed Bath & Beyond was great until Bed Bath & Beyond went under. It's not that I was there all the time, but I'd go grab some kitchen item or something. I like the escalators and the thing for the cart for the escalators. It's just cool, high-tech stuff. It's neat. Anyway, those, I guess, are some of the things. The newspaper, the Times-Picayune, Noller.com, Noller.com, and I throw out some like things that still need to happen that need help that are going along. I guess we could put the Sewage and Water Board substation into the 2023 breaking ground. It'll open next year. That's huge. But boy, still need help. How about the Plaza Tower? You know what I love about the Plaza Tower? Just like what's funny about it, like a decade ago, some individual, a single person, like bought the Plaza Tower for like $450,000. Like after like $12 million in remediation, like some company cleared out all the asbestos. I mean, $450,000. It's like, yeah, dude, I don't know much about the Plaza Tower. I got one elevator working. It goes up to the top floor, and I just gutted that place out, and I live up there. I got energy cable. That's it. Here's my front door. I mean, I'd be like, sorry, the rest of the building's a shell, but I live on floor 43 right now. I mean, $450,000. You buy a house for $450,000. Yeah, dude, I bought the Plaza Tower. $450,000. I put $50,000 down. Yeah, I got a note of about $2,500 a month. For what? That 44-story office building downtown. Dude, my house costs more than that. My Porsche car note you're talking about? No. My Plaza Tower house note. Anyway, the Plaza Tower, that Joe Yeager sale to whoever, the folks standing by, that needs to go down. Someone needs to get some money, invest it, public, private, get that Plaza Tower on board. A bunch of other things, 23 fading out, 24 coming on board. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. Wide open Wednesday.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" And he said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Baby is crying. Baby needs binky. Baby needs blanket. I really do need the blanket because it's going to be cold. Yikes. Yeah, a real wintry mix rolling in for like the next week to 10 days. But it's actually pretty mild if you're from anywhere else but around here. I think folks that are going to be visiting New Orleans, and we get bombarded by tourists over Christmas, literally over Christmas, and especially over New Year. And unlike most places, I mean, New York has a lot of folks. There's a handful of cities in the world. New Orleans, we're just naturally one of them. And then we've got a bunch of events. So it's a mix of locals, folks from the region, folks from around the country, international tourists. It's New Year in New Orleans, international city. No, it's going to be 40s and 50s for the rest of this year going into next year. Boy, a lot to talk about. We'll continue our 2023, about to be in the books, 2024. Here we come. Kelly Scholes joins us. She's with New Orleans and Company. She can fill us in on the next few days because New Orleans is buzzing, especially down in the CBD, the French Quarter, Warehouse District, Marigny, Bywater, especially the touristy areas. How you doing, Kelly? Merry Christmas. Hey. Happy New Year.
Hey, Corey. Same to you. Thanks for having me on today.
Yep. A lot going on in the city. The vibe, it's starting to take off now for sure.
There is a lot going on that's really a good thing. So, of course, we've got New Year's Eve, the Sugar Bowl. There's a Pelicans game on New Year's Eve. So, and then we're still celebrating holidays New Orleans style, which is our entire month-long celebration of Christmas and the holidays. So lots going on, and it's great to see the city bustling and hopefully getting lots of business for our shops and tour guides and restaurants and everyone who makes their living in the cultural economy.
I think that LeBron James guy and the Lakers are coming to town.
They are. The Pelicans play the Lakers on New Year's Eve. And then, of course, we have tons of fans who have come for the Sugar Bowl, which is sold out.
Boy, and what a great, I mean, it's almost perfect. You have Texas and they're insanely hungry. Like they haven't been good. They haven't been good for a while. So they're flocking. They can get on I-10 and beeline down here in a few hours. And then the other team is Washington. So you're going to get all these folks from, getting out of Seattle and Washington State that want to get out of, January, late December. And they're in New Orleans. So it's really like a perfect Sugar Bowl. This one, the game's sold out. This isn't one of those, okay, the so-and-so team's coming the third time out of the last 5 years, or, there's some sort of, redundancy or apathy with some fan base. It's the exact opposite, which means what? Kelly, hotels, restaurants, music clubs, bars, the service industry is like at capacity, right?
Yes, these teams, they do travel well, and like you said about the weather, we have such a competitive advantage when it comes to mild temperatures, in the winter, relatively speaking, compared to so many parts of the country. We don't have to deal with snow or ice and many of those challenges that other cities have. But yes, when you have a big event like this, the game is sold out, and there's a parade on New Year's Eve, and there's the tailgate town that New Orleans and Company is helping sponsor at Champion Square prior to the game. But, the really good thing about this is that it means people who are in the city, who are fueling our most important industry, which of course is tourism, they're going to our shops, they're going to listen to live music, they're taking tours, they're eating in our restaurants. I've talked to some folks who have said they've had a hard time getting reservations because our restaurants are so packed, which is a really a good thing for all of those people in our city. Tourism employs about 75,000 people in New Orleans in all different types of jobs, careers, and it's just a really nice thing to see people that are coming here. And we've worked hard to get them here. These types of events like Sugar Bowl are very competitive, and we work hard all year long to make sure that these types of events are on the calendar for New Orleans. And then, of course, coming up, we're going to have probably the biggest sporting event of all in the Super Bowl, which we will host in 2025.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that in a Superdome that's constantly being upgraded. Boy, those service industry folks too, Kelly. It's these are professionals in New Orleans. Many of them bartenders, waiters, chefs, whatever, cooks, have been at it for decades. It's what they do for a living. So this could be a month of wages in 3 or 4 days.
Well, we certainly hope so. And that's the thing, and you go to some cities and you may encounter someone who's waiting tables, but they really want to be an actress, or they're just doing something to kind of, be a stepping stone. But in New Orleans, hospitality is what we know best. It's what we do best. And it's really a respected, valued profession.
Yep.
And so much about what makes people want to come to the city are our people. We did a whole ad campaign last year about the reason you come to New Orleans is because of our people. And there are so many stories of visitors who have come and, gone to a restaurant and been served by someone who they may come back 5 or 10 years later and that person remembers their cocktail order. That doesn't happen everywhere. So that genuine hospitality is what we are known for. We love having visitors. We love showcasing our culture. And, the cool thing is that we get to live and work here all year long and get to experience every day what our visitors only get to experience, a few days at a time when they're visiting.
No, you really have to go out of town, go eat at other restaurants. I used to, when I was younger, I'd be like, it's amazing these cities, San Francisco, New York, whatever, just the kind of poor service you get at these middle, high, even high-end restaurants. And then I was like, they don't have poor service. They have really good service. New Orleans just has off the charts, insanely great service where everybody else does it okay. We just really take it seriously. And like you said, years later, remember a drink order, suggestions for food that are legitimate, not just someone talking. Yeah, their mind isn't about, I want that acting job. I can't wait to get out of the restaurant. Their mind is about the people in front of them. It's what they do for a living. Pros, professionals.
Yep. And, that's one of the reasons, is why we were able to secure an event for June of next year called Bocuse d'Or. It's an international culinary competition that has never been in the United States before. And we convinced them to come to New Orleans in June of 2024. So they are coming in large part because of our hospitality and our people and, of course, our food. There's also a portion of this that is the Pastry World Cup. So this is something that a lot of cities would love to host, and we're really honored that they're coming to see us in June of next year.
Kelly, what's going on for New Year's Eve? The ball drop, fleur-de-lis drop, big crowds expected on Decatur at Jackson Square at Jack's Brewery right there.
Exactly. Yeah. New Orleans and Company, we're happy to help make sure that fleur-de-lis drop is going to happen. There's also going to be a magnificent fireworks display, which typically happens on New Year's Eve. So, this is a great thing for our visitors who are in town for Sugar Bowl and for the Pelicans game, but also, of course, for our locals. And, many cities have their iconic version of a ball drop, and we're happy to be able to do one with the fleur-de-lis and just really celebrate, looking forward to a really good year for the hospitality industry in 2024. And in some ways, 2023 was kind of challenging, but we're moving ahead into a much stronger year and just working really hard to make sure that continues for our community.
I remember the Super Bowl, the first one in Detroit, like 30 years ago. They had like a fake French Quarter, literally, like made a fake French Quarter for like halftime, and for fans before the game, after the game. Like, wow, just go to New Orleans. The New Year's celebration at Jackson Square is like organic. I mean, I remember going down there 25 years ago, 30 years ago, and tens of thousands of people down there at Jackson Square, Jack's Brewery. Outside of New York and Times Square, I mean, does that even exist, Kelly, or is it just kind of a man-made creation elsewhere? I mean, where else is there even a celebration of New Year's? Serious, I'm not belittling other places. I just can't think of any. You're in the industry. Are there other places that are known to have some kind of New Year's celebration?
There are, Nashville will do some things, Las Vegas, and those are cities that.
Well, okay, I could see Las Vegas doing something, but, it seemed like each casino or something, there's like a central place in Vegas. They do a ball drop or a clock or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I mean, these types of events, we like to say that New Orleans is built to host.
Yeah. I mean, you said Nashville. I just find that to be like they created it, Hey, everybody, this year we're going to go down by the flagpole and we'll put some lights on and, people go down and that's fine. But I think in New Orleans, I mean, Bourbon Street and all that normally going, and then Jackson Square and all of it just sort of organically happened anyway.
Right. We know how to do this, and we believe we know how to do it better than any other city. That's why you'll hear us say a lot that we're built to host. And whether that's a New Year's Eve celebration or a sporting event like the Sugar Bowl or a Super Bowl, the big conventions we have coming into the city, certainly Mardi Gras. I mean, what better example of, masterfully executing a very complex weeks-long event that New Orleans does, thanks to the NOPD, so beautifully. And so we really, need to tout that we are unique in that way. And not every city has the infrastructure and the people and the experience to pull off events like this, but what we do here in New Orleans.
I think parades start, by the way, in about 4 weeks. Mardi Gras is about 6 weeks away, if I'm not mistaken.
It's early this year. Yes, Mardi Gras is February 13th. And then the day before Mardi Gras, we'll have a delegation in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl. And they will officially do the handover as Super Bowl host city from Las Vegas to New Orleans. And then we'll spend the next year kind of in the spotlight preparing to host the Super Bowl in 2025.
Hey, Kelly, is there some website folks can go on to find out events in New Orleans over the next few days?
Sure. You can go to the New Orleans and Company website, which is neworleans.com, and lots of information about what's coming up and how folks can go out and enjoy the city.
Kelly, thanks so much. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Corey. You too.
That's Kelly Schulz with New Orleans and Company. neworleans.com. Go check out their website because this is one of the best places in the world to enjoy New Year. It really is. Food, music, folks from all over, fireworks, the river, all of it. Coming right back. Don't move.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, insagency.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer. Yeah, you right, Crescent City. Look at that, Joe, on TV. You know, up top, the top screen. Uh-oh, someone's in the green room. Wake up. And then let's check out, Joe. Just watch any second now. Just walking in. If you're watching on TV or there he comes. Nice. That's just so professional. Just plop down in the chair. Really good, Corey. Telling stories with Joe instead of being in your spot when the program starts.
They are good stories, though, gotta say.
They were. That was a Jim Mora, Wisconsin training camp story. Those Mora cuts, they were great. I mean, no offense to Sean Payton, but he is a bore. Like, I'm going to nappy nap time. I mean, Mora was just the man with the woulda, coulda, shoulda, and we ain't got enough, and just whatever. They were just brilliant. And I like the shirts with like those silky short sleeve button downs he wore that had like palm trees on them and stuff like that. They're great. Happy New Year. Yeah, it's coming. 2024 starts Monday. 2023 fading out this weekend. Cold front coming through tonight. It's 61 right now. When you wake up tomorrow morning, it could be 20 degrees colder. It's going to feel that way. Tomorrow's supposed to be gorgeous, like sunny and 48. Seriously. The high tomorrow is like low 50s. Tomorrow's good, but gorgeous, cloudless blue skies, supposedly. That's what the meteorologists are saying. And brutally cold for us. Actually, this is the next few days
44 when we wake up tomorrow, 40 on Friday, 41 Saturday, 43 Sunday, 45 Monday, but then rain on Monday, cold front number 2. So 39 on Tuesday, 43 next Wednesday, 46 next Thursday, 43 next Friday. The next week and a half is 40s when we wake up on the South Shore. You North Shore folks, even colder, in the 30s just about every morning. And then 50s for the highs. We will not see 60 degrees over the next week and a half, 10 days. At least according to them meteorologists. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. If you'd like to dial us up, 766-9480. I saw E85 regular gas. I've got 2 points to make on this, Joseph. By the way, Joe's fielding your phone calls via the Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. If you'd like a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate, I've got a couple of $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates I'm simply giving away. Christmas present, New Year's present. Hey, Corey, hope all's well. I'd love one of those for my wife. You got it, Jimmy and Chalmette. Kaboom goes the dynamite. There's your gift card. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Yeah, 2 points about E85 regular gas. It's regular gas is under $2 a gallon. E85 is like $1.90 a gallon. Now, Joe, you can put 87 in your car, but not E85, right? You're not a flex fuel car, right? So you don't put that. You have to be a flex fuel. Now, I'm assuming you flex fuel car drivers, you're just not getting the same performance as you would with regular gas. Is that the deal? Anyway, 1 point E85 is under $2 a gallon. The other point, I think you get less gas mileage, less horsepower. I mean, it's the Coors Light of gasoline. They take gas out and they put in, what is it, Joe? Corn, ethanol. Yeah, ethanol. Corn produced ethanol from corn. It's just, if that was, it's not like it's the same thing as gas. It's not. It works, but it's not the same thing as gas. You know, there's a reason like these other octanes exist. Is it a waste to put higher octane in a car that runs on 87? Yeah, they have a computer chip that car is designed to run on 87. But then somebody driving like a Beamer, Volvo, or something, it says you got to put 93 in it. Now, you better put 93 in it because that engine's designed to run on 93. And if you don't put 93, it's going to not run as well. It's going to get worse mileage, not the same horsepower, all of that stuff. That's real. No, I mean, I'm for solar and wind and all kind of alternative fuels. But the great thing about human beings, about us, it doesn't matter what capitalism, anything, it doesn't matter. Whatever the best technology is, that technology is going to be out there. Never in the history of mankind has technology been withheld. When I was a kid in the 70s, the big controversy was Goodyear and Uniroyal and all these companies have tires that last forever. The battery companies have batteries that last forever. And the 200 mile per gallon carburetor. I was like, okay, 200 mile per gallon carburetor. Doesn't the vehicle size, weight of the vehicle, what you're carrying, all these variables have something to do with that? I could take a piece of styrofoam and get 200 miles per gallon out of it, I'm sure. And I had 2 ants and a roach take a ride on it. You know, I mean, I'm trying to be realistic. There are no carburetors today. Everything's fuel injected. So obviously there was no 200 mile per gallon carburetor. Tires that last forever. Goodyear would love to sell tires that last forever. It's like a golf ball. Car breaks down, a couple 100,000 miles, car's gone. You got to buy new tires, and they're 10 grand for them because they last forever. And you're going to spend the 10 grand because they last forever. Just don't exist. Not that grip and hold and do all that. Just so batteries that last forever. I mean, we got electric vehicles today, trying to keep them charged for as long as possible. I mean, just there's never, ever been technology withheld. And right now, a drop of gas, it's tough to beat the amount of energy that one little drop of gas produces for the size, the weight, all of it, how much it costs to produce. When gas is no longer number one, that's when it'll no longer be number one. It's not some controversy. It's not, I mean, Exxon and all those folks, they're going to control the renewables and everything else. Anyone else who comes up with something, they'll buy them out and they'll own it. I mean, it's like R.J. Reynolds. I mean, one day we'll look back at them, Philip Morris, be like, they made cigarettes? It's going to be like they sell brownies and cookies, you know? Who knows what it'll be? Anyway, right now, gas is still king. Now, we are busting our tails to get to the new thing. And when it becomes more efficient, when it becomes the deal, we will be all over. And gas will go away. It'll go away. But I don't think we're anywhere near that full-time across the board. I think we're still a few generations away. I think every day the snowball gets bigger and bigger. More electric vehicles, more of that. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. I saw a little bit of the video. This Thibodeau policeman that shoots the dog and kills the dog. I don't know. I mean, I worry about how's he going to handle people. That's what I worry about. You know, like the cruelty to animal thing, like Jeffrey Dahmer. I couldn't get the skin off these squirrels, the dead squirrel, so I had to dip the squirrel in acid, and it took the skin off the squirrel. The skull of the squirrel came away clean. That's Jeffrey Dahmer, like as a child. And then Jeffrey Dahmer, as an adult, they find human skulls and tanks of acid in his apartment. You know? So people that are cruel to animals, they're going to most likely be cruel to, people. Man, that Jimmy, dude. He's a pit bull fighter, cockfighter, just abuses animals, tortures them. He's just so sweet to his wife and his children. I consider him a great friend. I mean, it's not that it doesn't exist. There's something wrong with you, who your friends are, who you are. So you're Jimmy. Something wrong with you. I don't want to hang around Jimmy. But the cop that shoots the dog, how's the cop held to the higher standard? He's a policeman there to protect and serve us. Protect and serve us. I have respect for policemen. I'm not defund the police. But this Thibodeau policeman shoots the dog, and the owner's running along chasing him. And then the owner just drops his shoulders and all kind of different stories. The dog bit. The policeman growled at him. I'm like, I don't know. Does animal control ever shoot a dog? There's just something wrong with this. This really needs to be investigated, because a policeman shooting a dog, this situation, it's like, how would he handle people? How would he handle people? Maybe not fit to be a policeman if he shoots a dog, if he got bit or not. Check out the video. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets has daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, and their entire lunch menu is available too. Open 11 a.m. through 2:30 p.m. For the finest in Sicilian and Italian cuisine, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City, 2023 fading out. Cold front coming in tonight. It's going to be cold for the next week and a half. 40s and 50s on the South Shore. 30s, 40s, and 50s on the North Shore for like the next week and a half straight. I'm serious. Cold weather. Check it out. I mean, right when you think it's going to end over this weekend, another rainy Monday and a cold front rolls in again. Lots of cold weather. 44 tomorrow, 40 on Friday, 41 on Saturday, 43 on Sunday, 45 Monday, 39 Tuesday, 43 next Wednesday, 46 next Thursday, 43 next Friday, 50s every day, highs. That's it. Highs in the 50s. Winter is here. Winter es aquí. It's here. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. 2023 fading out. What did we get done? Breaking ground on what could be $1 billion neighborhood over the next decade, 5, 7, 10 years. The River District. That's a transformational project for New Orleans. Charity Hospital. Someone needs to write a book on Katrina, just the insurance and FEMA scams that New Orleans pulled off. I mean, I'm all for it because of how we got screwed for decades, like on oil and gas revenue. And still to this day, the country doesn't care about our coastline going out into the Gulf. So, I mean, I say this in the nicest way. Screw the rest of the United States for not caring for us. I'm going to take all this FEMA insurance money and get my hands on if I'm New Orleans and Louisiana. Seriously. I can't help we had poor leadership, but we got what we deserve, whatever. I'm just telling you, scales of justice. We're a major provider, the Mississippi, the kind of where the dumpsters are for the business. That's like us, the river, Cancer Alley, all the oil and gas infrastructure and all that. So yeah, it's payback. But the charity hospital gimmick, I mean, was it tens of millions of dollars in damage from Katrina? I would think so. $10-20 million in damage. First off, charity is a brick you-know-what house. No hurricane. A tornado's not taking down charity. Was there floodwater like in the basement in the first floor? Sure. So I'm saying like tens of millions of dollars, some blown out windows. I mean, you want to juice it? I mean, something just obnoxious, it probably would have been like a $30 or $40 million claim. And then the insurance company would be going, guys, this building's a rundown piece of crap. I mean, we're not getting you back to 2020, 2005 level. The building's like circa 1973, It's like the sunken roads. That's a whole other one. Sunken roads. They sucked before they were sunken. Submerged roads, whatever that was. They were terrible before they were underwater. They're just juicing that. But charity, I mean, on the wildest day, the insurance people were drunk. They believed us. $40 million. We got like $450 million for charity. Think about that number. $450 million for charity from like FEMA and insurance. That's beyond drunk. That's my brother who is writing the check to me. Thanks, brother. I mean, that's worse. That's your 12-year-old, right? No, son, write it for $12 million. Write it for $4 billion. I mean, okay, Dad, sign there. I mean, that's crazy. $450 million for charity. Place St. Charles. The office building, Place St. Charles, that's sold for $100 million. Charity, $450 million. No, thank God we took it and parlayed it into the new VA and the new charity over on Tulane and Canal Street in Galvez. Thank God. But no, that's a joke. That building didn't have, had tens of millions, not hundreds of millions in damage, and nowhere near $500 million. It's crazy. Crazy. Joe, your car is a $40,000 vehicle. We're insuring it for $400,000. I mean, that's literally what it is. It's like a $40,000 vehicle. You total it, and the insurance company writes you a check for $400,000. No, it was the car, not my house. And that isn't even the price of my house. Exactly. Yes. Jesus, Lord, please. Thank you. That's what happened. Anyway, charity now, public-private partnership, Tulane, hundreds of millions of dollars being invested into the old building from the Huey Long era. River District, $1 billion, Charity Hospital, hundreds of millions of dollars. Six Flags site could be $500 million. That's an if and when. Clearview Mall, tens of millions. Sewage and Water Board substation, tens of millions. I mentioned the Plaza Tower, things that still need help. Esplanade Mall in Kennebra. Federal City on the Best Bank. How about the Plaza site in New Orleans East? Lincoln Beach securing money from the city. Hey, y'all, got $25 million, but I'm going on a junket to Tokyo. Sushi, anyone? Junkie Cantrell, over and out. I'll be on Wi-Fi, first class. Lincoln Beach, we'll see if that happens. Lindy Boggs Hospital on Doc Francis Parkway. What is that, in Bienville? The Naval Support Facility on Poland Avenue. Boy, sinful what the city did with that. The feds hand that over to the city, and it's AC, heat, electric. It's working office space. About 1 million square feet, like the size of One Shell Square or Place St. Charles. And the city just abandons it. And now it's worthless as far as like doing anything in it. Has to totally be redone. Could have been police substation, city hall offices. Right away, move in, ready. Sinful. What's that, Blue Boy? Sinful. The feds gave it to the city and Landrew, and everybody just looked the other way. 5 o'clock powwow is next. Blue Boy says, stick around.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers Breitling time, 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
Susan Spicer joining us on the program.
Even when they presented me the award, the people that I look up to the most, Frank was there and Donald Link was there. It does cause you to reflect back and think about your whole career.
Maybe the Ella Brennan Award says that to you, like I've arrived.
It certainly is kind of the ultimate honor when it comes to cooking and hospitality in New Orleans and the world.
New Orleans style talk gumbo, served daily.
Doesn't get much better than that, huh?
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision. a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
As I fade from 2023 to 2024, I have a very tough decision to make just this afternoon. Am I Crockett or am I Tubbs? I've got the pastel suit picked out, matching shoes, socks, pants, jacket, and just a t-shirt underneath it all. But do I take the Ferrari out for a spin or the cigarette boat? Very confused. I'm going to be Tubbs, not Crockett this week, and I'm going to take the cigarette boat out. Welcome to Miami Vice. I'm Corey Johnson. It's not Miami Vice. It's the neutral ground with Corey Johnson. We're not beelining with the scantily dressed ladies in the Ferrari or the cigarette boat. We're doing it on a streetcar. It's pretty cool. You can fold the seats the opposite way and sit face to face. A romantic interlude on one of the green streetcars on the St. Charles Avenue line, only in New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans, Louisiana. Corey Johnson with you. I'm from New Orleans, 3 syllables, that word. Louisiana's 5. If you're from rural parts of Louisiana, Louisiana's fine. 4 syllables is acceptable. Or like you folks in the rural areas would say, if you live in the city, 5 syllables is acceptable. Welcome to the program. Wide Open Wednesday, 5 o'clock powwow, appropriately brought to you by Katie's. Had a little Tulane crowd over there today at Katie's checking out the Wave, losing to Virginia Tech today in their bowl game. Katie's is the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant, bar, great New Orleans food. Scott Craig, chef, owner, operator, been at it for decades, knows what he's doing, from pizzas to po' boys, big portions, great for sharing, New Orleans specialties, old school. Katie's in Mid-City, a taste of New Orleans. But with all those flat screen TVs, why would you ever go to a sports bar trying to find something that's edible? But dude, the big screen TVs make up for it. Katie's has great food and big screen TVs with all your favorite sports action, like Pels, like Saints, like LSU bowl game next week, like Tulane today. Premier League soccer. Pick your poison. It's on the flat screens at Katie's in Mid-City, as New Orleans as it gets. Corner Iberville at Talamacas. That's in between Bienville and Canal Street, in between Carrollton and Doc Francis Parkway, a few blocks between Bricata's ice cream joint. Katie's in Mid-City. Yeah, you, right? Corey Johnson with you. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Hope you had a great Christmas. New Year coming our way. Happy New Year. 2024 starts Monday. This Monday, 2024. New day, new week, new month, new year this Monday. And cold. Enjoy 61 right now. Enjoy high 50s tonight. Maybe drop some coals. Do some grilling. Get outside with friends and family. And then get inside and crank up the heat. Tomorrow when we wake up, 44. Friday morning, 40. Saturday morning, 41. Sunday morning, New Year's Eve, 43 degrees. New Year's Day, Monday, 45 degrees and rain and a cold front coming in, and it's already 45. Tuesday morning, when you wake up on the South Shore of New Orleans, 39 degrees. Next Wednesday, 43. Next Thursday, 46. Next Friday, a week from this Friday, 43. We don't get out of the 40s as the low all week, week and a half long, next 10 days. And the highs? In the 50s only. We will not see 60 degrees, at least for the next week, week and a half. Lots of 40s and 50s. You North Shore residents, Trey Yen country. Lots of 30s, 40s, and 50s. Oh, Trey Yen. I got to get over there this week. I'm jonesing for some hot pepper chicken. Nothing better than going for lunch or dinner with a little crowd. If you can get like 4 or 5 people at your table, you're styling. The more, the merrier. They have a couple of tables with that like lazy Susan thing, I think they call it. Is that right, Joe? The table within the table that spins around in the middle. Could you imagine being at Trey Yen with like 6 or 8 of your friends, family? And then that lazy Susan thing with just lots of appetizers to start, like the pork, sliced up pork, or the ribs, the butterfly shrimp, the chicken wings, spring rolls, egg rolls, wonton soup. And then entrees. But before we get there, this is sort of an entree / appetizer if you're with a crowd. Get the honey pecan shrimp entree as an appetizer if you have 4 or more people at your table. Honey pecan shrimp, local Gulf shrimp, plump, juicy, delicious. This honey glaze on them, these roasted pecans, just outstanding. An incredible dish. And then I don't know how you pass up local fresh trout or flounder. Trey Yen might be one of the best seafood restaurants locally. They take a whole speckled trout or whole flounder, usually have both, debone the fish, but the head and tail are intact. You get both fillets. They flash fry that bad boy to perfection right there. I mean, marinated, seasoned to perfection. It's perfect. But then ladles and ladles of their signature tung cho sauce coat that local fresh speckled trout or flounder. Whole fish, both fillets, tong cho speckled trout, tong cho flounder. Tough to beat Trey Yen in Mandeville. And don't forget the lunch specials Tuesday through Friday for like $10. Fast food prices for not Chinese food. That would be a winner already. Quality Chinese food at fast food prices for lunch. It's Chinese cuisine. It's Trey Yen for fast food prices. Insane. The Wong brothers, I mean, I tell them, guys, just do it. Don't you can blame me. I would jack up these lunch specials $2, $3, $4 each. Still a bargain. $10. Trey Yen in Mandeville, so good. Yeah, cold the next week and a half. The Thibodeau policeman, the police officer shooting the loose dog. I've seen the video. All I can say is if that's how the policeman deals with the dog, how is he going to deal with a less than perfect human being? Obviously, a complete investigation. You're interviewing people at the scene. You're interviewing the dog's owner, the policeman, on and on and on. But, I mean, my initial take is that guy's not fit to be a policeman shooting that dog. It's insane. 2023 fading out. What did we get going good in New Orleans in 2023? Some major projects like the River District breaking ground, a 5, 7, 10-year project, $1 billion of new neighborhood work, live, play, everything in one spot, right on the river, right by the Crescent City Connection, Convention Center, the old Entergy power plant with those big smokestacks. Shell Oil going into a brand new, mid-rise building, modern building, Top Golf coming, entertainment. Maybe a soccer pitch and little mini minor league soccer stadium. We'll see. Charity Hospital. If you've driven by Charity lately, I mean, the thing is like, it's beyond scaffolding. These elevators, they look like they could put like a car on one of these elevators and take it up to the 20th floor at Charity. Massive project, hundreds of millions of dollars. Like the River District Six Flags site, quote, breaking ground. About 2 years later, we'll see where that goes. Still needing help? Oh, before we get to still needing help, Sewage and Water Board substation should be completed next year. $60 million. Still needs help. Esplanade Mall in Kennebra, Federal City on the West Bank, Plaza site in the East, Lincoln Beach, even with money secured from the city, is it a go? Plaza Tower office building, Lindy Boggs Hospital in Mid-City, Naval Support Center on Poland Avenue, the film industry. I saw Louisiana does about $1 billion a year. Atlanta does $4 to $5 billion a year. Big orange bucket, Home Depot. That's just nauseating. It's the Peachtree City. I live on Peachtree Street, off Peachtree Lane, off Peachtree Boulevard, off Peachtree Highway, next to Peachtree Court.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, hey, what can I do to give you a hand? And he said, well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place. So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, fuller part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's Total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Hey, the 5 o'clock power hour this afternoon on this wide open Wednesday, brought to you by Leidenheimer Baking Company. This is an amazing New Orleans company that's been at it now into their 3rd century, since 1896. 1896. Oklahoma became a state like in 1908. I mean, Leidenheimer's baking French bread in New Orleans, still baking French bread right here in New Orleans for over 125 years, baking French bread in New Orleans. You know, that Leidenheimer French bread you absolutely love. Leidenheimer French bread, the official French bread of New Orleans, from authentic New Orleans po' boys. I'm serious when I say this. I am a native New Orleanian. I don't think it's an authentic New Orleans po' boy if it's not on Leidenheimer French bread. That's sort of period, end of story. Honestly, it's got to be Leidenheimer French bread or it's not a real New Orleans po' boy. And then so good that high-end restaurants, think about French bread today. There's so much artisan bread and high-end French bread, so many local bakeries. I like the local bakeries' French bread, these little niche loaves, the high-end stuff, $4 or $5 a loaf. I'm not against it. But you throw that little Leidenheimer loaf or the big loaf, cut it up, put it in the oven, heat it up, crispy hot, piping hot, room temperature butter. It's tough to beat the flavor of Leidenheimer French bread. New Orleans French bread. 5 o'clock power hour. Leidenheimer French bread. 5 o'clock power hour brought to you by Leidenheimer Baking Company. New Orleans French bread. And I think they're in about 20 states now. In about 20 states. Leidenheimer's good where you can put it in like a Ziploc freezer bag and then just pull it out and stick it in the oven and heat it up, and it's like it's fresh baked. It's pretty amazing. E85 regular gas, under $2 a gallon. Regular gas in 2023, about to be 2024, under $2 a gallon. I can't figure out this economy thing. Joe Biden, I love you. Joe Biden, you're the worst. It really is confusing. I love, like, major corporations leave the United States and put their offices in Ireland and other places to avoid taxes, tax breaks. Major corporations in the United States don't pay taxes. Okay, which one is it? Do major corporations in the United States don't pay enough of their fair tax? Or do major corporations in the United States have to go elsewhere for their headquarters to avoid paying taxes? It seems like it can't be both. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. 766-9480. Anyway, I don't know about the economy. Can't tell you if it's rocking and rolling, it's terrible. Seems fine. Gas is under $2 a gallon. New topic. E85 regular gas is for a flex vehicle. You can't just go put it in your regular car. If your car requires 87, put that in. E85 could damage your regular engine. It's got ethanol. It's like fuel made with corn. And E85 is a misnomer. It's not like 85% gas, 15% ethanol. It can be a much higher percentage of ethanol. And I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm not the dullest either. Right now, I cannot ever in the history of mankind think of a technology that was withheld. So wind and solar and all that's coming on strong. And eventually things like that, electric cars, all kind of things. Well, the future, it's coming. There's no denying it. But right now, the bang for the buck, gasoline is still king. That one drop of gas, the amount of energy you get, a gallon of gas, what you can get out of 1 gallon of gas, how much it weighs, how much it costs to produce, the amount of energy it produces is unsurpassed. Cost, weight, energy that it produces. It's number one. Can't be beat. When it can be beat, it'll be beat. It'll be pushed back to number 2 and 3 and third world country and disappear. One day, maybe not in our lifetime, but one day. But it's never been held back, technology. Anyway, gas under $2 a gallon. 2023, River District, Charity Hospital, Six Flags site, Sewage and Water Board substation. Still on the to-do list. And by the way, those are just breaking ground. I mean, Six Flags, nothing done, 0 done. River District, 0 done. They just broken ground, quote, broken ground. Charity Hospital site, construction workers, scaffolding, elevators, lots of work going on there, hundreds of millions there. Clearview Mall, you can see something going on there. Sewage and Water Board substation, you can see, construction going on. Still needs help. Work to be done. Esplanade Mall in Kennebra. That is just a huge mall. I mean, it's a shame something can't go in there that's just major. I don't know what it would be. Microsoft, something with 1,000 jobs. I don't know. Just hey, we're turning the Target into the City Hall. I mean, not the Target, I guess, the old Macy's or something into Kenner City Hall. That's about as exciting as the Lowe's in New Orleans East becoming like a Salvation Army retail store, whatever it is, Goodwill. And I have nothing against Salvation Army or Goodwill. They're great people. They're going to generate a few million a year in that site in the East. Does nothing. Something like an IKEA furniture store, tens of millions, might do 100 million north, 100 million in business. Bring people from around the region to New Orleans East. Folks that are like naysayers on the East, I'd never go to the East. Yeah, your wife wants to go to IKEA, you're going to the East. If the IKEA is in the East, you're going. Could you imagine? It's not Fantasy Friday, but like IKEA going to the Lowe's in New Orleans East at the Plaza site. It'd blow up the Plaza site. It would be a game changer, coupled with The largest Bass Pro Shops Cabela's opening in the Six Flags site. Those would be attractions from around the region, would draw folks to New Orleans East from around the region, and would literally be game changers for the East. Instead, the big unknown with the Six Flags site, how long will it take? It's not a Buc-ee's. It's not a Flying J truck stop. It's not a Bass Pro Shop Cabela's. It's not some water park from Disney. It's local folks. How long is it going to take? The Lowe's, I told you, it's going to be a, Salvation Army store, Goodwill or something. Just, that's great. Just doesn't really move the needle much for the area. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, the Plaza site. Lincoln Beach, the city says $25 million secured. What you say, Joe? Oh. Lincoln Beach City says 25 million secured. We'll see. That's all we can do. I hope Lincoln Beach gets the 25 million. Pontchartrain Beach looked like it was going to get redone, then that went away because the folks doing it, the city couldn't figure out a way to make that work. Not a priority to figure out how to make that work. So for 40 plus years now, 40, it's mind blowing. 4 decades plus, Pontchartrain Beach sits idle. There's something very wrong with that. Hey, television audience, hasta la vista, baby. Also, Arnold says, I'll be Bach. I'll be Bach, you be Beethoven. I'll see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. TV audience, we are done. Radio, YouTube, CoreyTalks.com, live streaming. We seamlessly continue until 6 o'clock. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. A Thibodeau police officer shoots a loose dog, kills the dog. Growled at the policeman, bit the policeman reportedly. The owner's chasing the dog around. The policeman's there and shoots the dog. It just seemed totally unnecessary. And it makes me wonder if that's how this policeman handles a dog. How will he handle a human being in a less than perfect situation? Shoot him? Being a policeman's tough. You almost want to say, we want the best and brightest being policemen. But it seems like we've lowered the standard. And I'm not saying anyone can be a cop. There are a lot of people that are righteous cops, that it's their vocation. That's what they do. They get it. And then there's some folks that just sort of stumble into it. Point is, not everyone's built to be a policeman. It's a tough gig. It's a higher standard. You know? Think about this. When a criminal shoots a cop, you're like, that is a sick criminal. It's like a criminal shooting a child or an elderly grandmother. It's like, they're ruthless. I mean, they're going to shoot a cop. So the criminal's even more heinous. When a cop commits a crime, even worse than a criminal, a regular citizen committing a crime, because it's a policeman. The standard has to be the same. Some criminal shooting a cop, really a bad criminal. A cop being a criminal, worse than a regular criminal because they're a policeman, supposed to hold that higher standard. No, some people aren't built to be cops. That's how he handles this dog. Makes me very weary how he might handle a less than perfect situation with human beings. And I hate watching that kind of crap on video. And I was like, I forget the headline. I forgot how many cows already. That Texas barn fire where, it's like 20,000 cows died. 20,000. Now I can just sink my head into the, pull the ostrich gimmick and ignore it. But, I land on USA Today. The story behind the Texas dairy blow-up that killed 18,000 cows. 18,000 cows. It's talking about the weather, dropping coals, grilling a steak. I'm all into that. We've got to, this is the United States of America. We have to be humane. We have to treat animals humanely, from slaughterhouses to horses after they're done at the racetrack to, Texas dairy cows, the pork industry, chicken industry. I think every American, okay, I shouldn't say every American because there's a lot of Americans struggling to put food on the table. But just about every American with just the slightest bit of wherewithal would pay an extra $1 or so for steak, chicken, eggs, whatever. Pork, if we treat the animals more humanely. Sickening. Looking the other way. No, and a lot of folks that dog these liberals are going into the slaughterhouse, sneaking in cameras, pretending to be a worker. Thank God for them. That's tremendous. They could easily get found out, and he fell into the combine and died. Oh, the bolt thing that kills the cow. We hit him in the head with that bolt thing by accident, the bolt gun. So no, those people are risking their lives for us, so we know the truth. Those people are brave. No, we in Louisiana, we need like some state trooper to infiltrate like dog fighting. Pay some state trooper to be Billy Bob, Joe Blow, whatever, and pay him full-time salary. And he's got to say bye to his wife or kids. Ideally, it's someone single. And he goes and lives the life as some idiot dog fighting moron. And then have dog fights and lots of video and camera, and then go arrest all the people behind it and all the people that go and watch it. A crime to be a dog fighter, train animals, have the equipment, possess the dogs, the rings, all that. And anyone who watches it goes and pays a ticket, goes and bets on the animals. They get arrested too. They're criminals too. Cockfighting. How does this still exist? I'm 25% Cajun. There's no, it's in part of Cajun culture. Nothing makes, there's this thing called the Cajun Classic. They used to do it before Corona. Thank God for Corona, silver lining. It was these dog fighters in Louisiana. The Cajun Classic at the Crowley Rice Arena. You want to see something disheartening, Joe? Go to Google. Put Cajun Classic Crowley Rice Arena dogs and watch what comes up. You don't want to be anywhere around these people. They're not nice. It's my cousin's a good guy. Uncle's a good guy. Look how they do it. It's essentially like 50 years ago and you went into the bong store with rolling paper. Weed was illegal. This is what this is. There's no buy this dog. Here's how you train the fight, but it's all there, right, Joe? It's rolling papers and bongs. When weed was illegal, that's all it is.
I mean, it's still on Facebook and
whatnot.
That 2019 Cajun Classic, the legends gather.
The legends gather. I'd like to throw Billy Bob Redneck into a ring and throw about 10 pit bulls at his ass. Let him just get mauled to death. Isn't that a nice thought? Pleasant thoughts with Corey Johnson.
Justice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but that clown needs to be in a cage the rest of his life. Yeah, that's a danger to you and me. Some idiot that fights dogs. This isn't a normal tempered guy. Is that some good guy? Corey's a damn good guy. You don't know him. He just fights dogs. There's just no way around that. Dude, you don't know him. He's a real good dude. He just beats the crap out of his wife regularly, but he's a good dude. She can be a kind of a nag. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. You don't know her, dude. She can complain a lot. It's just mind-blowing. It's like, dude, my uncle was a great guy, real kind guy, total racist, but it was a different time. Well, no, then he wasn't a great guy. Might have been a very good guy or an okay guy and had this major flaw. You can't just pass that along. That was the times, man. Doesn't work that way. And I'm not talking about presentism or presentism, however you pronounce it, where today's standards were judging other people. Abraham Lincoln had some slaves. We need to get rid of him off a building. Abraham Lincoln's the number one mover of the abolition of slavery worldwide. Number one mover on planet Earth, that white dude, Abraham Lincoln. No, you don't need to get rid of him. So I'm not into that. I'm not judging today's standards. Yes, it's today's standards today. Dog fighting, tradition, Cajun culture, none of that. No, it's insulting. There's nothing Cajun about it or classic about it, Joe. It should just be called Poop Fest or something, because that's all it is. Poop show. That's what it is. And the Crowley Rice Arena, shame on you folks. That better be a private facility, because if they're a public facility and they're leasing to those folks, or does that fall under, hey, the David Duke KKK convention, we can't tell them no? You got to say yes? Because if that's the case, the next week I want the LBGTQ convention in that Crowley Rice Arena, if y'all are so open to anything. Cajun classic. State police should be all over that. It should be exactly like Godfather movie when the wedding's going on in Nevada and they come out by the gate. And actually the wedding, I guess, was going on at the house. And Sonny comes out at the gate and all the police are writing down the numbers of license plates. And there's cameras. They're snapping photos of people's cars and people getting out of them. And Sonny smashes the photographer's camera and gives him some money and tells the FBI guys to hit the road. The Cajun classic, those dopey redneck dog fighters should walk outside and go, why are the police taking photos of everybody in here? Why are they shooting video in here? Why are they snapping photos of every stand? Why are they snapping every license plate? What are they doing? And they're gathering information on a bunch of criminals. There's no way, no how to justify being it like the Cajun classic at the Crowley Rice Arena and justified unless you're an investigator or a policeman doing the righteous stuff. No, that's just terrible. We're terrible in Louisiana with how we treat animals. That's something we got to do better in 2024. Jeff Dorson will join us tomorrow. He does every Thursday for just a few minutes. Pun intended. We toss him a little bone on Thursdays. No, he's pushing to just get a few $1,000,000. These old shipping containers for about 30 grand. They can be converted into a climate-controlled dog shelter with an office for the human beings, room for cats and dogs. One shipping container, about $30,000, ready to drop off in a rural area, and they'll have a legitimate shelter. But they need the land, the electricity, the funding for that. That parish needs to want to do it. 64 parishes in Louisiana, about 32 of them have no kind of animal shelter, none at all. And then about half of the 32 that do, very inadequate. Some are absolutely embarrassing. Like on the edge of town by the water plant or the I guess you call it the sewage plant. There's literally some wooden framework with maybe a blue tarp and then some cages underneath with cats and dogs in them. And that's their animal control. It's a joke. It's inhumane. Looking the other way. We got to do better than that, Louisiana. Just treat animals humanely. It takes a little bit of effort and caring and just a tiny bit of money. That's it, a tiny bit. And then we're set. We're normal. Louisiana's normal. We treat animals humanely. We're normal. Right now, we're subhuman, how we treat animals. Uncivilized. It's not right. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning. They've been around since 1940. 84 years of excellence. Truly a New Orleans institution for a reason. They're the best dry cleaner. Tired of your dry cleaner? Want to experience the best? YoungsDryCleaning.com. Find out everything you need to know online. YoungsDryCleaning.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
You're listening to The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
Cotton Bowl winning coach Willie Fritz joining us on the program. Have you ever been part of a game that great?
A lot of things happen in the game. You just don't know the script. You got to adapt and improvise. You just got to keep playing hard the whole time. And our guys did an excellent job of that.
How big is yesterday for the overall future of the program?
You got to have a guy who really have a burning desire to get a quality education and also be a great football player. You got to have focus.
You've always have embraced New Orleans. You've been a great ambassador for the city, for Tulane University.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. My wife and I just love it here in New Orleans. And just everybody, the city's just sensational. Just a dime for a person who came up to me after game. I had tickets in the old Tulane Stadium. And, I've heard that a ton of times. And letting you know, that's good that we're able to make some people happy.
That's Willie Fritz joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Roll wave.
The spirit of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on The Neutral Ground.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans' grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
I was talking with Joe during the break. You ever watch like a Seinfeld and like your boy, Baldy, George, George is going to go do something stupid. You like almost want to change the channel because you're like, man, I don't even want to watch this. We were talking about Daniel Day-Lewis and just some scenes. What's the movie, Joe? The oil movie?
There Will Be Blood. Yeah.
Yeah.
just where he's in the restaurant with his son, getting him milk and a steak, and then the other guy comes in and, hey, how you doing? And just ornery and beyond insecure. Like it's like an insecure insanity. It's like a combination of insecurity, insanity, jealousy, vindictiveness. And it's just, I don't know how to describe it, but I mean, belligerent, just embarrassed. I changed the channel the other day. I'm just like, don't even want to watch this scene. Don't even want to watch this scene. What was I watching? Mississippi Burning, and I was like, don't want to watch this scene. It's just too depressing. I was like, seen it, know exactly what it's all about. Now, it is an amazing story about Mississippi Burning, which is true, which might blow you away. Mississippi Burning, about the three kids from New York, the Freedom Riders, the two Jewish kids and the black kid that came down from the north to help register voters in Mississippi. They get arrested in Philadelphia, Mississippi. They get released from jail. They get run down by some KKK police redneck types. They get murdered and buried in an earthen dam. They just disappear. And the police and the KKK in Philadelphia are tight. Bunch of racist redneck incest goofballs. So they're tight as can be. The feds come down, searching for the bodies, want to know what happened. Everybody's keeping their mouths shut. They get nowhere. Now, the movie scene, right, Joe? Gene Hackman sends in the specialist, the black guy, puts him in, the mayor in the shed, tells him the story, kidnaps the mayor. It's sort of true, sort of not. It's better than that. It's even better than that. Mississippi Burning doesn't do it justice because they didn't know the full story. The story came out around 07, 08. So just recently. Mississippi Burning's like late 90s, I believe. So they had the warm. They were warm. It's much better. You have my cousin up in Harlem. What was Johnson's first name, his nickname? American Gangster. He was the driver. That's just he's the minor character. Bumpy Johnson. Bumpy Johnson. It runs Harlem, like heroin trade, drug trade in Harlem. And then you have the mafia, the Italians running their drug trade in parts of Harlem. And then they kind of, work together a little bit. And the feds are aware of the mafia and Bumpy Johnson. And the feds literally, first, Bumpy Johnson is very upset about the racial discrimination in Mississippi. So basically, he gets with the feds, and Bumpy Johnson gets with the Italian mafia. And the beautiful thing is the Italian mafia, they're Christian and they love America. Like they might be the mafia and criminals, but they're Christians, Catholic, a lot of them, and they love America. The KKK hates blacks, Jews, and Catholics for whatever reason. So the mob thinks the KKK is a bunch of Nazis, that they're un-American and they hate Catholics. So Bumpy Johnson, with the green light from the feds, gets the mob, will work out a drug deal, whatever. You send some mob guys down to Philadelphia, Mississippi. Some New York mobsters go to Philadelphia, Mississippi, essentially kidnap like a KKK guy and like the sheriff. And they torture them. Like the feds green lighted, like, we can't torture people. We can't go down there but you mobsters know how to get people to talk. So do whatever you have to do, because we as the feds don't care about these redneck KKK murderers. We don't. But we can't do anything, but we're going to let you go down there, wink, wink. The mafia kidnaps these guys, maybe tortures them to death, but they admit everything. These are the people. These are where the bodies are buried. They let everything out. And then the next day, the three bodies are found in the earthen dam. A few weeks later, 8 or 10 KKK, Mississippi businessmen, Mississippi sheriff deputies arrested. Jail sentences from like 7 to 10 years for civil rights violations. They were smart. It's like, how do we get them on the crime? And it was just brilliant how the story is true. Bumpy Johnson, black guy, ran Harlem, heroin trade, partnering with the mafia, who ran the heroin trade in other parts of Metro New York. Bumpy was black, didn't like what was going on in Mississippi. The feds, who were talking to them in conversation with the literally got a couple of mob guys to go down there who are happy to go down there, kidnap and torture some KKK guys that hate Catholics that are un-American. Gravy is we're helping out black folks. Great, whatever, Bumpy. We're not into civil rights. We're into torturing people, and we get something out of it. Fantastic. We'll do it for you. And that's literally how the feds broke that whole thing down. They would have gotten nowhere without the mob torturing a couple of KKK sheriff types. Now, I don't condone that. You know, you can't sit there and go, God, that's a great story. We should do that all the time. But it turned out pretty well. And then when you think about like the people getting tortured for the answers, it's like, you're kind of like, I can easily look the other way. The redneck, incest, racist, murderer, sick individual. The sheriff and KKK and control the businesses in the town, you got no problem looking the other way. But yeah, a vicious catch-22. It's kind of like that Baton Rouge guy when I was at LSU. He's on the phone, pretending to be on a phone at a payphone in the airport. The feds are walking the convicted child molester. The dad's faking he's on the phone. As the child molester walks by, he turns and shoots and murders him. He got arrested that day for that. Then he was out later that day, and no grand jury indicted him for the crime. And it just went away. But I guarantee you the judge said, look, we're kind of letting Jimmy go on this one. But Jimmy number 2, you're going to get indicted. We can't just have lawlessness. But, they realized no one's going to indict this guy. This father murdered the guy who molested his son. But yeah, you don't want that. It worked out fine. It's luck, kind of. You're fortunate. You don't want that. If that's the regular way of doing things, most of the time it would not work out fine, and we'd be murdering and killing, torturing the wrong people. And who wants to get into murdering and torturing people? Not me. But I don't, I don't want to be anywhere around those KKK racist redneck types. It's just funny how that whole thing, and that's real. Google that. Look it up. Read it. I'm not making that up. This is the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. If I'm talking it, it's real. If I have an opinion on it, I have some knowledge of it. I just don't think those damn protons and neutrons should be penetrating no atom. Fission, fusion. I mean, come on. Yeah, I'm not really talking about stuff like that because I have no idea about it. Wow. But yeah, if I don't know, I have no problem going, I don't know. Hey, Joe, Google that. Let's figure that one out. I think it's 10. How many? Wow, 23. Amazing. Whatever. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant is hiring. 2024 starts Monday, folks. New year, New Year's resolution. Coronavirus crisis got folks rethinking their lives. Maybe you're one of those folks. Hard to beat Latrim. If we had a dozen, 15 Latrims in New Orleans, we'd be Austin or Nashville. This is a worldwide manufacturing giant, a global giant on every continent on the planet, born, bred, based out of New Orleans. Shrimp peeling machine, #1 in the world, the industry standard from New Orleans. All plastic modular conveyor belts. Anheuser-Busch, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Ford, Chevy, Mercedes-Benz, worldwide. Intralocks belts under the Latrim umbrella. I just noticed, what was that place? It's Edwards Avenue at, what is that, like Elmwood Park? it was something like the artificial fruit company or something like that, fruit flavor company or something, some building. Now it says Latrim shrimp machine, Latrim machinery, shrimp peeling. Like Latrim took over that entire building. Over 80 acres in Elmwood. And they continue to expand and continue and grow. And they're looking for you. Dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs on their website. North Shore, folks, Latrim has an I-12 facility. You don't have to cross the lake. East Bankers, West Bankers, Elmwood's got you covered. Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com. Corey Johnson with you on a wide open Wednesday. Yeah, you right. Cold front rolling in. Don't get fooled by 60 degrees right now. Go to bed. Wake up tomorrow morning about 20 degrees colder. 40s every morning, maybe even high 30s for the next week, week and a half. High temperatures in the 50s for the next 10 days. 40s and 50s on the South Shore. 30s, 40s, and 50s on the North Shore. What's that, Blue Boy? Coca-Cola, what? You want a Coke? Oh, cold. You're not into the cold. I hear you, buddy. The pavement's cold on your paws. No, I got you, buddy. It's going to be cold for the next 10 days. Bundle up. See you mañana, Thursday.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.